Why did Louis B. Mayer warn Joan Crawford not to take the role in A Woman's Face? Find out when we take a deep dive into the film A Woman's Face. Joan Crawford, Melvyn Douglas, and Conrad Veidt feature in A Woman's Face, a 1941 American melodrama directed by George Cukor. It follows the narrative of Anna Holm, a, quote, facially deformed blackmailer, unquote, who despises everyone she meets due to her appearance. Anna is divided between the prospect of starting a new life and the desire to return to a dark past. When a cosmetic surgeon corrects her, quote-unquote, deformities, the majority of the film is told in flashbacks while witnesses testify in a courtroom. Donald Ogden Stewart and Elliot Paul wrote the script. A Swedish adaptation of the tale was released in 1938, starring Ingrid Bergman. In a shot by Robert Frank, there is an advertisement for the film. One of the photographs of Crawford used in the advertisement eventually appeared on the cover of the Rolling Stones album Exile on Main Street in 1972. A little trivia. Spoiler alert, we are about to take a deep dive into this film. Anna Holm is accused of murdering an unidentified victim and is on trial in Stockholm. Her face is hidden under her hat. The first witness, a waiter named Herman Rundvik, recounts a meal held by the charming and extravagant Torsten Baring at a quiet bar. Vera, the adulterous wife of cosmetic surgeon Gustav Segert, and Eric, Vera's most recent conquest, are among the guests. When the manager, Bernard Dahlvik, refuses to provide credit, Torsten encounters Anna, the proprietress. Torsten ignores her scars and compliments her gorgeous eyes, despite the fact that the right half of her face seems damaged. Anna forgives him for the cost and suggests that she can be of good use to him. After the gathering has dispersed, Eric comes to Rundvik to inquire whether something has fallen from his overcoat pocket. Rundvik reveals Anna as the leader of their blackmail operation in the courts. Bernard Dahlvik is up next. Vera comes to them for aid on the recommendation of her masseuse, Dahlvik's wife, Christina. Someone has her letters to Eric. While Dahlvik is making plans with Vera, Torsten phones Anna. Anna joins their group and falls in love with Torsten. Anna comes to sell the letters according to Vera. Anna slips and injures her ankle when Gustav arrives home suddenly. He wants to contact the cops, but Vera talks him out of it. Gustav is intrigued by Anna's scars and promises to help her recover. Vera raises an objection, and her testimony comes to an end. Anna is called to testify and recalls her alcoholic father, setting fire to her room when she was 5 years old. He saved her, but not himself. She chose a life of crime when she was 16 years old, loathing the world that had spurned her. She recounts a meeting with Torsten at his place, during which she divulges a great deal about herself. He says, "We're both proud, both unhappy." They raise a glass to their partnership. Anna had to go through 12 excruciating procedures. Gustav wonders, is she going to be like Frankenstein's monster, with a lovely face but no heart? Return to the courtroom. Anna takes off her hat, exposing a flawless face. Torsten is awestruck by her appearance. She tells him she is not one of the saints. Consul Magnus Baring, his elderly and extremely wealthy uncle, has passed everything to his 4-year-old grandson, he informs her. Torsten will inherit if the boy dies. Anna is terrified, but Torsten forces her to comply. She acknowledges in court that she consented to kill the boy. As Ingrid Paulson, she becomes the boys' governess and attends Baring Hall. The mansion is located in the Highlands, across the river from the Barings' Fortune's metal factory. The amiable consul and the sweet-natured little Lars Erik grow on Anna. On the eve of the consul's birthday, Torsten comes. He dances with Anna, who is completely enthralled. Gustav, one of the house's visitors, assures Anna that he believes in her reform and that he will keep her secret. Anna leaves Lars Erik under a sunlight for too long the next day. Torsten questions her sincerity, and he gives her an ultimatum. Lars Erik must die before the next night, because that was what he wanted, she says in court. The tale is picked up by Gustav. Anna takes the youngster on a cable car journey to the mill the next day. On a nearby line, Gustav climbs onto an ore bucket. He watches her go for the gate's bolt, but she pushes it away and cuddles the unsuspecting youngster. Gustav passes them, much to Lars' joy. Gustav interrogates an enraged Anna. The camera zooms in on the courtroom. He thinks she was enraged because he questioned her. Gustav is accused of loving her by the prosecution, and he does not refute it. Next up comes Emma Christian's daughter, the envious housekeeper. She overhears Anna and Torsten in the attic, where she is gathering robes for the birthday sled trip. Scorning the dove, quote-unquote, she has become and revealing his plans to do in Sweden what he has done in other nations. Downstairs, Anna presents the consul with a pocket chess set, which he passes to Emma, who unexpectedly comes to a halt. The consul reminisces about his sleigh journey. Torsten is chasing Anna and Gustav, with Lars Erik lashing the horses. Torsten refuses to stop, so Anna fires a shot at him. He falls into the river and is swept up over the falls. The consul is convinced that Anna is innocent, but the judges aren't convinced. Anna objected, claiming that she had placed a message within the chess set. Emma admits to saving the letter, but she refuses to read other people's correspondence. It's a complete confession, as well as a suicide note. Gustav coaxes Anna into confessing her love for him while the judges debate. He makes a proposal. The clerk informs them that the judges are on their way and adds that Gustav should also attend. Now, according to MGM figures, the picture grossed $1,077,000 in the United States and Canada and $830,000 in other countries. Miss Crawford makes a bold stride as a film glamour girl in the first half, allowing the makeup necessary for face disfiguration. Crawford has a very dramatic and sympathetic character, which she delivers in top-notch form, Variety noted. Joan Crawford jumped at the chance to star in this juicy role, despite having to play a facially, quote-unquote, disfigured woman, at least for the first half of the film, which she was advised by even Louis B. Mayer, the MGM head, that it could be costly for the glamour actress in the future, film critic Dennis Schwartz said recently. Instead, it turned out to be one of her most well-received parts, furthering her reputation as a serious dramatic performer. She won an Oscar for Mildred Pierce in 1945, which she claims this film had a cumulative effect in helping her win that award. Crawford's scar makeup was done by Jack Dawn, who also worked on The Wizard of Oz 1939 and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde 1940 and 1941. As always, thank you for tuning in.